This will be posted once we've concluded online.
All right, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting of the Senior Advisory Board to order. Citizens' comments. I have nothing. Jackie,
I received
likewise. All right, we'll move on to our agenda items. C1, consider approval of minutes for the April 10th, 2025 meeting and take appropriate action. Of course, as you all know, remember that we did not have a formal board meeting in May. We did our little tour of the renovated facilities, and we're back and everything is beautiful and like we never left, right? A year and a half later, right? So are there any corrections or any things that we see that need to be corrected?
Did we come up with the name of our July 11th?
Yeah, we came up with it. Any,
Did we want to include it in those minutes?
I'll make a motion, we accept minutes as written.
that's second. Okay, so motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor? All those opposed? Yes, Deborah, we will, as we go through because we had our meeting after. We had our meeting after the April. Okay. All right, let's go on to C2, receive an update regarding Senior Advisory Board minutes. Jackie, if you want to explain
Yeah.
this, please.
So they're kind of reformatting the way that y'all receive minutes, like which y'all just previously voted on. And so kind of just how that shakes out is staff is responsible for the minutes taken in each meeting, and board secretaries can take notes. But those notes should not be labeled as board notes and added to the board packet as a supplementary document. The notes can remain part of the agenda packet, but they are not to be voted on. They can only be used as a supplemental document. So starting in the June meetings, so this meeting today will now follow that suit. The meetings for Park Board, Senior Advisory Board, HP Library Boards, and staff will be responsible for the minutes. And then all minutes will be taken in the format currently adopted by City Secretary. Emphasize the board's actions and general discussions in your minutes. And I believe there was the attachment to it. And so if you look at the minutes that we just previously voted on versus the way that these are formatted, that's what it'll look like going forward. Same concept, just the staff liaison will be doing it, and then the format looks a little bit different, but how it flows is the exact same concept. Any questions regarding item C2?
So anything that Deborah would have taken in the past, we're just going to. I believe the concept is that we've got the owl. If there are any questions about how the meetings are conducted, and Jackie will be taking the notes from now. Any other questions, discussion? All right, we'll move on to C3, receive the branch connection second quarter report.
I'm gonna speak back here. Everybody has a hard copy of everything, but just pull it up, the graph parts, and just kind of go section by section. So just to recap on what we're looking at is the end of the second quarter. And it reflects January, February, March. April, May, and June data will be the end of quarter 3. And then the end of the fiscal year ends out will put July, August, and September. And so please keep in mind during these times, we were still over at the recreation center. We were not in our building. So we've only been back in this building for a month exactly. So just keep in mind when we're looking through this data, this is data that happened while we were over at the rec, not currently. So our cost recovery, or I'm sorry, the year-to-date revenue was a total of 9,366. The components for that was simply membership fees, membership renewal, and trip fees. So the comment was the revenue continued to be impacted during the facility closure. And so I believe once we see our Q3 report, we should see a little bit of movement in that area. So for the number of scans, total number of scans for this year's second, 6,129. We currently do not have any disabled veterans using our scholarship program for membership. Again, with us being over at the rec, reduced number of programs, reduced number of members, member scans continue to be impacted, reflecting lower numbers compared to previous years. However, this current fiscal year's second quarter did reflect a 9% increase compared to last year's second quarter. So Q2 versus Q2 of last year. The program participation, category accounts for total number of program participants for the second quarter fiscal year 24-25. Recorded total number of 5,789 participants in the programs. This showed the decrease in comparison to previous fiscal years, which is impacted by the renovation. We also provided a total of 231 programs. In August of 2024, the branch connection programs, were relocated and hosted at Farmers Branch Manson Library, the venue 1842, Aquatic Center, the Community Center. And then this quarter, we did host Viva Fiesta Social, the monthly breakfast, and the casino trip.
It's hard for us to hear over here, because there's all the noise.
Yes,
You can't show.
yes, we can.
Can you show? So for this quarter, the total expense was a total of 301,991. These are associated with programs, staffing costs, instructor pay, cleaning supplies, facility repairs, and the Viva Fiesta program. The year-to-date expenditures continue to be monitored. Again, another note with the closure of the branch connection. Even though we were closed, we still had ongoing costs. So then the last part is the summary. Our total current cost recovery is 3%. We anticipated again with the building being closed. Also noted that during this time, the part-time staff had took food handler trainings, and full-time staff had taken a bus driving certification and classes. And down there at the bottom, we have an asterisk, branch connections MPS score at that time. Because we were at a different building, that building receives the MPS because we're not reporting as a separate facility. But now that we're back online, our MPS score, we've been receiving surveys back. So when we do the third quarter, we'll have an NPS back to review like we normally do. So that's all the information for our second quarter report. Anybody have questions?
I would like, I just want to, we had touched base on this when you and Robert and I met about membership numbers. What we were prior to closing for renovation and what we're kind of back up to now.
Yeah.
Show the trend.
So before we closed, I guess in January 2024, when we relocated programs to the rec, we were at around, was it 1,200, I think?
1285.
1285 was our number, so close to 13. And then with all the moving and stuff like that, our numbers took a dip from 400 to 500 to 700 to 800. So different factors, right? We moved locations, and then from December to January, the insurance is reset. So we lose everybody that has third-party memberships because they have to renew. So it doesn't give you like a true knowledge of saying like, oh, well, we lost those members, their memberships expired. It takes us a while to recapture all that. So before we got back in the building, I think our count was around 600, something like that. And our last report that we received Monday, we're at 1,188 members. So we're within 100 members. And that goes without saying that during our grand reopening, we did take in 31 memberships. I don't know if they're renewals or true new members, but so we're over 1,200 right now. We're that close to picking back up where we left off, and we've only been back in the building for a month.
So is a renewal someone that was a member closing or?
It's just their memberships expired and they're not a new person. They're in our system. They're a renewal.
So it doesn't matter how long ago it was just.
But basically, brand new.
Brand new ones, yeah.
So it looks good. Very encouraging. I mean, to get back
Be back.
to those numbers.
How many participants did we have at grand opening?
450 to 500. 500.
It was 500.
Yeah, it was wonderful. All right, any other questions on the quarterly report? Thank you, Jeff. On our way up from here. All right, we will go to C4, review of board absences, ordinance number 3730. Staff will review ordinance number 3730 to clarify board absences during their term while serving on the senior advisory board.
So attached, there's three pieces. One of them's kind of lumped together as an absentee letter. So one of them is essentially, I don't want to say warning, but it's when you're close to reaching that 25%, that this will be drafted, be sent to members. And then when that number has been hit, then they will actually receive the absentees rate reached. So this will be the final letter before they're removed from the board. But the key part for ours was so on line item B, it says any person appointed city council to a board or commission as either a regular member or alternate member shall be deemed to have resigned and vacated the position to which such person was appointed if such person is absent for more than 25% of the regular meetings of the board or commissions during any period of 12 months. So the key word is more than 25. They previously had different language, but I know our board has more meetings than other boards. And so that percentage gives everybody a fair, versus instead of you just saying a number. So you say 3 absences. Well, our 3 absences are different from somebody else's 3 absences because we have more meetings, right? So that's the main verbiage on regarding the removal of board members and absences.
So basically for us, it would be
More than 3.
more than 3.
So 4, you're
And our terms all begin on July 1st. So
July to June.
July through the end of June. So that's during 12 within those 12 meetings within. Now, did our May meeting did not count since we really
Does
didn't
not
have a May
count.
meeting. Okay. So we only have Anything else on that?
That's it.
And it starts over every,
Correct.
Next month is we start.
Well, the verbiage that I read, the way I understood it, it was any 12 months. It didn't matter term beginnings or endings. It was any 12 months in a row. If you missed more than 25% within any 12-month period, you're off.
Right, but when you hit 12 months, that becomes a year
12 months.
and then it starts.
It just has to be 12 consecutive months. It doesn't necessarily mean the beginning or the end of terms.
After 12 months, it starts over regardless, right?
It's 12-month period, any 12-month period.
Right, but then after that 12 month, you would start with month one, right?
Not
You don't,
necessarily. No,
you would go to month 13.
no, you can read it. Yeah, Rick's got it right there.
Yeah, it's the very last sentence to be during any period of 12 consecutive months.
Yeah, any 12 consecutive months. It doesn't matter the beginning or the end of a term. You can start counting in September through August or you can start through October through September. It's just any 12-month period. If you miss more than 25%, you're pretty much done.
Gonna get the limit.
And will that come from city staff? You have to tell them, right? The liaisons have to notify the city that,
Well, I'm ready.
have we had anyone
This is within-
that had
this is
to
the term.
notify?
No,
This is the term. It's within 30 minutes.
you said chairman?
It's such chairman. I read that. It's the chairman's responsibility.
Are there any other questions about this?
We have any members that are close to that now?
well, now I'm gonna ask about this consecutive 12 months.
I mean, it's in,
Well, I'm curious if it goes consecutive, does the months move with it? And then the last month, the oldest month, does that fall off?
that's just 12 months.
That's what I'm saying. As it moves, then the previous, like, you know, what I'm talking about, like, if we started in January, we're in December, January of the next year comes around. So then consecutive
It's
months
February
goes from February
To January.
Right.
And then March to
But my question is if you're saying 12 consecutive months, it restarts. That's what I'm asking. So I will find out about
and there's no restarting. It's just 12 months.
So
But it should be based on
the year.
when you enter it, when you become a member. So to me, there is a term, because you have so many years in your term. And because right now they clarified that as well. Now you can have up to 3 2-year terms. So if the term is 2 years, your term starts X date and ends X date. To me, I've always been under the impression your term starts, that's when the clock starts for your 12 months.
If you're beginning on board.
So that's kind of, to me, that's kind of where everybody lands, but we'll clarify that.
Yeah.
That's what we need to clarify. Because yeah,
I mean, it clearly
let's say
states,
consecutive,
it
Consecutive.
clearly states here 12 consecutive months.
but it almost should say consecutive within your term,
Or to the
but based
calendar.
on your term. Or on a calendar. year,
On a
whatever
calendar,
it needs to
yeah,
be.
calendar 12
It
months, yeah.
still leaves it a little bit gray, in my opinion, the way you guys are approaching it.
Yeah, well,
I was
let's say for instance, you're in your first year
Mhm.
and you have 2 months left in your first year. And you miss those 2 months. And then you start your second year and you miss the first 2 years. You've missed more than 25%.
Like if you start July
Correct.
and you miss it, those other ones are gonna carry with you.
Yeah,
I-
which I think that'd be hard to,
That's clearly what it states.
I'll ask.
but no, I agree with you. I think it's not clear. You're right. Because consecutive to me, like you said, they don't stop.
Right.
I was just under the impression that it was a term was 12 one period, because that's how we start people. They start before. So, and your term expires on the next day. So you have 2-year terms, you have 2 12-month periods that you account, but then are you saying is it consecutive to all 2 years? I don't know.
Well, with 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really clear there.
But my example, like I just said,
Yeah.
if you miss the last 2 months of your first year,
Yes,
the first 2 months of your life,
yes.
that's 4
Correct.
consecutive within a 12-month consecutive.
I'll ask.
Yeah, we need to clarify that. Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
Any other question?
But it just, are we close to having somebody that meets that criteria?
Not that I'm aware.
All right, let's move on to C5, review events and activities. This is,
Yeah.
Okay.
this agenda item allows board members to discuss and give feedback on any activities or events attended and review the upcoming calendar. We had a chance to go through the June events and activities. Of course, a lot of us went to the grand opening the other night, grand reopening the other night with a great band. A lot of people doing and eyeing. I did see a lot of that, so. Yeah, that was fun. What else? What else has anybody done?
I have a question on attendance. We were just discussing. You are in the hospital, or you have to go out of town for business, is that count?
Yes, it's an account. Yes.
Well, Rick and I cooked a bunch of hot dogs for our Friday frames. Also, Rick and I also attended Texas Hold'em.
Did too.
Oh, yeah. If she finished in the top 8, yes. She qualified. For it. That's absolutely right. But I play 42 in the afternoons usually, and yesterday I got to watch a movie in a brand new theater.
How's it sound?
It sounds a little hard to get turned up. There's 2 different sounds, volumes.
Yeah.
And if you turn them both up, it kind of echoes.
It's the wall mount. Did you use the wall mount?
I did.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
all you're supposed to do.
Yeah, the theater's cool. Workout equipment, I've used some of the workout equipment, which is good.
Could we add to a bridge, a beginner's bridge? Learn to play bridge or anything like that? Like for dummies?
Maybe.
Is that what it's
Like,
like?
how to
Yeah,
play bridge, but
we gotta find an instructor to do it.
Is Diane teaching classes now?
it's so popular. And
I used to be had it
Well, she kind of backs, I think she's trying to set stage. And we had Tuesday trivia, which was really fun and really good. And this month I can't wait because it's the Branch Connection trivia. So I feel like I might have a chance.
Everybody's gonna want to be on his team, I'm sure.
do you have any openings for your team?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I have a couple questions about these trips. I see July, the trip is to a museum.
Yes.
What museum is that?
June?
July. That was gonna be a ball game.
Right. So, July is a museum in Fort Worth at the Stockyard. Another one of those museums over in that area. It's free on Tuesdays. That's why we're going there.
July?
Because we use so much money on the June trip, right?
On the June museum trip, we are taking a busload.
Because it's so popular, we added tickets and added
Yes.
people, $42.50 a pop.
Yes.
All right.
Middle Honor Museum.
And then September, will that also be September museum? Is that also?
September will also be an inexpensive museum,
Which museum in September?
another museum.
Okay, we don't know.
So the Amon Park, it's free admission.
Yes. But we have been there not too long ago.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
We were there when the stock show was there.
Mhm.
It's great.
And we have Friday Pranks on the 20th.
Yes. Which is next Friday.
Next Friday.
How many people did we have last time? Almost 100.
Yeah, how many people did we have last time? 98 or 100?
I think it's 98.
A lot of people sign
Oh, good.
up for the chalk time.
Any other activities, events that you want to share? All right, we'll go on to. Where is my thing? I've got C6. Will be, receive an update from all appointed subcommittees. This agenda item allows the board members to report, discuss, and exchange information regarding any updates from the Spotlight Memorial Century social programs or renovation committees.
I'll speak about the Veterans Day
Yes,
Committee.
please.
Jackie and Rob and I met with, General Joe Allen and his wife and daughter Tuesday. We had lunch with them. I think he's going to be an excellent speaker. He has a lot of background, but a lot of, cool stories. And I think said that he was in charge of Guantanamo Bay in the mid-90s. He's been around. It's going to be a wonderful guest speaker for our Veterans Day.
And then we have a meeting coming
We have a meeting next Wednesday, I believe,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday. And we will be discussing the drinks, the food, the agenda. And we're coming along really good. We're gonna have another great Veterans Day. Thanks to Jackie's leadership.
Can we just maybe touch, we'll probably retire renovation committee after this month, but can we just like have kind of a final recap, like what we kind of, maybe some things that need to be addressed, issues, we're still good, almost everything done, but
Yeah, so we're 98.5% done, I feel. Just kind of small, I mean, functionality wise, stuff like that. I mean, we're getting 2 more port drops, so that way the whole building is on the same like network, so we can put an announcement system at the front desk and it goes throughout the whole building. And whatever music we play, we can play in all the rooms and then the rooms control it. As y'all saw earlier, the lights, they're working on switching the lights out. We're getting the drain line for the ice machine completed in the bathrooms. We're getting a plaque up. We're working on that veterans wall. The letters for that's supposed to come up. TV, audio, drain. I think we're working on a clean out access. I think outside of that, I have a list, I just can't remember. off the top of my head.
just,
But very minor. These curtains are still gonna go up, and then the curtains in the mirror room back there are gonna go up too. As far as the project goes, after that, I think that's the last bit of it.
Are you talking curtains on the doors?
The air conditioners,
That's not related to the renovation. That's a complete facilities thing.
questions we've had, I mean, the bands that have played for the last couple of weeks have said, oh my gosh, what a difference. I mean, the last band, they had their own sound engineer. And he said, oh my gosh, what a difference. Trying to get everything balanced. Venue, so. Oh, great. Okay. So,
Yeah, I think our Monday night dances have gone from 40 to 75 to 98, so we're gradually stepping up. And people are coming back and things are really good.
so do we have any, let's talk about the social, or
Wait, can we do
Oh.
anything for a spotlight? Do y'all want to start talking about bringing that back on?
yes, we
Okay.
will, yeah.
Anything from Memorial? So the reason why I wanted to do it is because Century, we had a fastball thrown at us last week, but there's a member. What's her name now? We had, yeah, we had a member that turned 100, and they did the proclamation this last Friday or Saturday.
What's the name?
I got it. I got it. And Marge
She plays Bruce.
Marge James, correct.
Jim Barnes.
Marge James. So we were able to, we got real short notice on it, and this just came out there in email, so we turned around, got a proclamation done. The mayor, I believe, went and delivered it Friday or Saturday when she had her lunch. Yeah. So, big update for the Century Club. That's where. Okay,
You know who this person is? I
You only
mean,
did it at 100?
I played bridge with her a few times, but it's a long time ago.
so she did play, she did play bridge. Okay. She's a member. Just, she's a resident of the city. Okay.
I think that we are overlooking somebody as far as the memorial board goes. I think we definitely have someone, Virginia Clay, who actually deserves to be on the
Yeah,
memorial
she
board.
volunteered here.
20 years.
who's the subcommittee for the memorial?
Matt and Ruth.
Do y'all want to meet and bring it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, the Spotlight Committee, now that we're back in those announcements.
What about the board?
What board?
The memorial. If we put Virginia Clay on. That's what she asked.
Yeah.
So that's, but the subcommittee has to,
Submit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a. All right, anything else before we talk about the social?
Well, yeah, one more thing, spotlight. Someone wanted to nominate someone on the spotlight. But the person they nominated had already won the spotlight. So if we could have a list of previous spotlight award winners, that would be very helpful.
I tried to get that and it was very spotty. I had to kind of like, I wrote down all the ones we've done since I've been on the board. But prior to that time, it was kind of hit or miss as to being able to cobble together a list, because I tried to get one.
What's
I
the,
know
what's the
that-
requirements to
Yeah,
get
that's another thing.
What is it?
considered for the spotlight?
What is it?
What is it? Yeah,
I've got it here.
okay.
I've got all that.
Can they not be nominated?
I think they can be nominated every month, but I think there's so many people who are deserving that happens. Let's see. Post somebody who probably deserves it, but you know, some of the other people have been doing it longer. It's already longer.
And more about how.
I do have all that information.
yeah, there's a nomination.
There's a nomination form.
We have all this to do this.
You do have everybody that,
I don't have everybody, but I know, like, it has the full.
And is it per month, would you say, or?
we do. And we announced it at the breakfast.
He's got a list of them.
I don't think there's any criteria. I mean.
Must have been a chair.
I mean, they've gone through this, and I swear I did something and put what we found. I'll see if I got this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll try and get that. And Deborah, I've got a list here.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
and I think I've got criteria in here. All right. Our July 11th social event,
It's titled,
Fun in the Sun. Fun in the Sun.
if y'all recall what Chug, or who Tuggett was at the event, it kept our hospitality bar very, very booming. Do y'all remember it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday night,
Yeah, I
The drink
remember.
People.
huh? The drink people, yeah. I would like to invite them back for our event.
Me too. They were good.
They were good.
Were they loaded with sugar?
I mean, you can have sugar now.
There was diet of choice.
Yeah, but
You do drinks with that, sparkling water. Sparkling.
And the what?
They were busy. I mean, people seemed to enjoy it.
So we decided on a menu. Correct? Chicken salad and tomato cheese sandwiches, strawberries.
We said strawberry lemonade, but the bar would take.
Yeah, we don't need to have that. Yeah, we don't need to have that. Chips and
And ice cream.
ice cream cups, the little ice cream cups, make it simple. We will have our pie walk.
Mm-hmm.
Pie walk will be, of course, the biggest event.
We're gonna keep it pies. Just pies.
We're hoping to get some individual sized cake slices.
Smaller.
Yeah, well, H-E-B will make them like 9-inch pies rather than big giant ones, maybe a little bit. Maybe we can have a few more rounds or whatever. We'll have our axe tossing, not real axes.
Ring toss.
Ring toss.
Did we agree to exclude the photo booth, or are you going to do that?
We're going to set up a photo opportunity spot. They can take their own, you can take your own photos. And, seems like there was one more activity. How come I don't have that written down?
Air hockey.
Air hockey. Oh, yeah, we're gonna borrow,
Open the bar.
hoping to borrow some air hockey, tables from the rec center. Have air hockey. And foosball, but we'll see, we'll see what we can get.
Can they have the photo set up, there's a little bit more visible? Last time it was kind of,
It's not
when we were doing the drinks, it was all there, no thing.
a picture opportunity, so it's not the same thing as a photo.
We're not gonna have a photo booth. We're gonna set up a space where they can take their own photos.
Oh, okay.
Decorate it, but yes, we can have it more visible if they wanna like, and sign it like, take a picture, photo op,
Right, and have balloons.
yes. And it is July the 11th here
From 1 to 3 p.m.
from 1 to 3. And I think what we're gonna try and do is block off a certain part of the ballroom eating and then keep the rest of it open for the games and so forth.
How did the popcorn work the other night?
It ran out.
They ran out.
We had a whole box of popcorn, like,
So would that be something we want to offer at this event too?
why not?
Sure.
You know,
Heck, we should pop popcorn every day.
I know.
For the smell, for the ambiance.
That's what they do. in Bronx.
Absolutely.
Every day at 2.
What time do you want us here?
It's cheap. I mean, popcorn's cheap.
Everybody
It's
likes it. well, most everyone.
We can get it in bulk.
Costco bulk.
So what do y'all think? Do you think the pies, the smaller pies, rather than everybody, the big giant 10-inch pies or whatever we had? We can order them from HEB, I believe, right?
Or the half pies, you know, he brought in that.
Oh, half pie. Oh, yeah, half pie.
Or a mix of desserts and junk, you know? Not everybody likes pie.
And,
Cake.
individual.
If you're looking for additional volunteers, I know there's some fine teenagers at the rec center who could earn some service hours. Maybe you could say 7, however many you need. You don't have to bring all 50, but you could bring 7 or up to 14.
Okay.
They can hand out some pies or something, they're prepackaged. They all have food handler permits as well.
Oh, okay, that's great, perfect. So we talked about like having a DJ, but last time all the DJ did really was like do for the pie wall. So maybe we can figure out a way to have some background music just through,
For the pie walk.
yeah, just to, just have somebody in charge. Well, the kids can do that, you know, they know how to work all that, they can, because I just think that was kind of a waste of having, I mean, nobody could even, if they wanted to dance or do something else, you really couldn't because they were all, it was all devoted to the pie walk, whatever. So we'll keep this one kind of low key-ish, just kind of fun and,
We're gonna have to enlarge the number of participants on the pie walk. Probably because so many people wanted to do it. You had to rotate.
oh, make it bigger. Yeah, make the circle bigger. Yeah, well, like I said, we can, you know, we'll have more. We have to use another room for something else. I mean, we're back home. We can do that.
Yeah.
You know, we can do that now. You know, if we have to allocate a room or something to do something special, we can do that now. And we'll figure out the logistics and what else is going on. Because Friday afternoons are pretty,
The room is available.
yeah, we'll have more rooms available. We can like spread out more and get people to move around the building so they're not all congregated in one room. So, yeah, we'll work out the logistics of that, make it fun. But, and then we're, start thinking about the one, in the fall, September.
It's gonna be the evening, right?
That will be the evening one, yeah. Be a little bit more elaborate.
We do pumpkins.
Huh?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkin. What else do you do in September, right? Any questions about that? And we will have a board meeting before that, we will have our board meeting the Thursday before that.
And if you do it after helping in the park, we'll have lots of pumpkins that you guys
That'd be
can have. Have hay bales you guys can have.
A lot of neat things that we can.
What's the date of policy in the park?
That's important.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
The Saturday.
Ours will start.
September 26th.
October. Oh, so it's not.
So we'll start thinking that way, but we'll get this one down and, we'll probably try and have Jennifer, Deborah and I are trying to have one more get together and finish everything up, decide what we're gonna do for decks and stuff like that, how, and gosh, we know somebody who knows how to blow up balloons. Our balloon artist, our resident balloon. You know, I work for Party City and I work for a wholesale balloon distributor. They kicked me out of the balloon counter at Party City. They told me I wasn't practiced enough. And then I had all the balloon decorators, you know, I worked for 5 years and I never learned how to decorate. I could sell them, but I couldn't decorate with them. All right, any other questions about that? All right, we'll move on to C8, receive the,
C7.
I'm sorry. C7. I'm sorry. Discuss agenda items for future senior advisory meetings. This item was placed on the agenda so that board members could recommend topics they would like discussed at future meetings. Anybody have anything they want to discuss on the agenda?
Think that this is the perfect time to start talking about new programming. We have a lot of programs that I think that
Beginner's
service well.
bridge.
And I would like to have that as an agenda item. Maybe everyone can bring ideas of that they think we should be having.
So I think we already do have an agenda item for programs,
New programs.
review events and activities.
Yeah. I think we should discuss new programming.
So would that not be reviewing activities?
If you want to do it under that, we can. I mean, I just think that
That's fine.
we need an emphasis on new programming. I mean, we have a brand new facility. We have new people joining. We don't want them coming to an empty building. We'd
Right.
like to have programs.
And they're gonna do the movies on Saturdays, matinee.
That's a great program.
And
That's
we need to
great.
come up with the movies that.
And
would interest
Bunko's
people.
coming, so that's a great addition.
Like,
But there's others that I think that we're at least talking about.
And the dance lessons, right? On Saturdays, Wayne's gonna do dance lessons on Saturday.
Oh, who is?
Wait, every other Saturday. Wayne will be offering dance lessons on Saturdays.
So
Here I
when are
come.
these starting?
You need to come.
All the movies, the young
And she said, you don't know how to dance.
Jennifer?
I'm sorry,
When are all these starting? Like Funko movies? dances?
July.
July.
Yeah, it'll be in our July, August newsletter.
Uh-huh. We're gonna need 12 people to commit to Bonko. When we get it going, and then we can have a wait list or a sub list that we pull from. But we would really need to try to get 12 people that want to sign up for the July event so that we can make it work and show how it flows and everything. So I was telling and mentioning that maybe in our announcement, we need to have people call and sign up as soon as possible if they're interested, and they can commit the time that we're going to be having in the date. And then we can go from there. And if they really enjoy it, then we could do it every 2 weeks, or we could enhance it based on the participation. But
And you're asking those who sign up to register to give their interest, to give a time and a date?
no, I think that we've already come up with the date and the time that it's going to happen, right? And so they would have to be available that particular day.
So we started promoting that already, or
We just want to get it in the news.
by the time the newsletter comes out, will that be too late to start looking for 12
Newsletter will
people?
be here,
Okay.
maybe tomorrow. Could be
For the July
July.
activity.
Okay. So just a couple of weeks.
So, yeah,
And then what, we'll start making the announcement at breakfast again.
yes.
So any new programs that have not been, that are really new and
If you're
improved that we're
interested
offering,
in
we'll go through a list of that and make sure, hopefully, we have 100 people at breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll get the interest in it and some of these new programs, the dance lessons, the movies, the things that we haven't had before and or that we're starting back up again that we haven't had, like the Wii Bowling, which we didn't have, bingo that we didn't have before, and we're coming back.
And then Saturday matinees, we hope to have popcorn, have water, popcorn, provide some kind of, refreshment that would, make it during their movie activity.
Somebody asked me about ping pong. Like, do we have like a?
So on
shop that does
Tuesdays, yeah, we have ping pong back there, and usually when that group comes, they came on Tuesday at 1,
And Friday.
and they play back there. They haven't, I haven't seen them back.
Someone's asking me about that Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we essentially, we got the room, we got the table, the tables are there.
found the nets and everything, got the
I
nets.
think that are the next.
We need nets.
We'll see who we find.
Well, and that's that, just bringing it all back.
Pickleball is so big in some communities. Have we done anything to?
It's a new program we should talk about next month.
Okay.
The rec has it 3 times a week.
There's a pickleball court right back there, back of the building.
There is.
We
There
went
is.
through this a couple of years.
Yes, we've gone through pickleball
Almost
numerous
broke my ankle
times,
putting back there.
It'd be a
It's-
great thing to add.
and they can help themselves.
I would-
The floor in here is not pickleball.
Where is it in the back?
There's white lines. If you go walk out there, there's white lines. We all went back there. Do you not remember?
I didn't go back there.
Yes, we went, we took a tour because I didn't believe it either. There's pickleball lines and this pickleball conversation comes alive once every how many years?
About every other year.
Well,
It's the same conversation.
Okay, so then we need to put that in our program that, hey, there's a pickleball facility in the back of our building. If you're interested in that.
It was determined to be too dangerous.
But
You're not gonna,
it's
you're not gonna put.
Okay.
All the people,
If you want to play.
I
If you want to
I
play.
get that, but the people that play pickleball won't play.
Why?
They want to play.
Why did you say?
Yeah,
Jim.
they want to gym.
It became such a thing way back when that the compromise was, we're gonna lay lines out there. And once they did it, the reality of actually using it was like, well, wait,
Okay,
no.
not
It's
realistic,
because they
okay.
want it in a basketball gym floor,
Mhm.
pickleball official.
about this floor.
We used to play it on this floor. We would put down the blue tape every week to play. And
Now they have it where you don't have to actually put adhesive tape, it's just like a line.
It's not a gym floor,
They,
they want a gym
they
floor.
want a gym,
They want a gym floor. I promise you.
there's a difference.
Yeah, I
This floor,
promise
the
you.
gym.
The people that play pickleball,
They're pros.
they won't, but again, I mean, maybe the people y'all say, they might like.
Beginners, maybe
Yeah.
beginners who wouldn't know.
yeah, I don't think it's worth it to put it down here. I think we have to do it. We need to do it somewhere else.
Yeah, this won't,
Unless we're gonna put permanent courts in the floor.
yeah, it won't work. I promise you.
All right, any other discussion about activities? If we can move on to the next.
No,
C8. Receive the senior advisory board and city council update calendar. Below is the calendar for 2025. This includes a meeting schedule for the year, council presentation dates, and a deadline for completing annual training. This will allow for excellent communication by all, foster forethought and planning, ensure that training is completed, and ensure that presentations are submitted to the director and council in a timely manner. Becky?
Did you want to put together
No.
July 10th, we'll have our meeting here. Of course, all meetings are back at the branch connection. August 14th, September of the 11th, October 9th, and then November 13th, but we also will have our year in review. Once we have that date, we'll update this as soon as we get it. And then December, because it's a holiday meeting, so we do the reverse, and we do the lunch last and the meeting first at 11:30. And then we'll have January 26th through December 2026, when that calendar comes out.
I'm sorry, did you say the year in review? We still don't have a date for that.
We still
Is that
don't.
right?
And the proclamation is on the 10th, right, of July? Is that correct? Did I read that right? Okay.
What, can I have some clarification? I don't know what that is. The proclamation on July 10th?
So we're doing, so Parks and Rec Month is every July. And we were gonna do something at the June 17th council meeting on June 17th to kind of kick off our activities for the month, Parks and Rec Month. But the way we're gonna do proclamations now is for internal ones, so like PD has a proclamation or Public Works or something like that. What council wants to do is actually go to the site and do kind of a photo op with whatever the group is. So the 10th anniversary for the Aquatic Center is on July 10th. So we just figured it'd be great to piggyback off that that's already scheduled to do kind of a celebratory Parks and Rec month. Well, I've already started activities when July starts, but since we already had that event already on the books, it was something. So, mayor, council will come that night just for a quick photo op. Really no time for speeches or anything. We'll just kind of get our, they'll read the proclamation. We'll do a quick, so all the boards, we're going to invite all the boards if they want to come. It's just going to be out. If it's inclement weather, we'll go inside, either the rec or the inside aquatic center. And if not, we'll be outside and we'll do a little thing. We'll have all kinds of stuff going on. Plan.
What
That's
time is it?
for us. It's kind of a shift in how we do proclamations.
So it'll be 5 o'clock at the aquatic center. One thing, I don't know if it would be an agenda item or not, is we need to talk about time capsule, if we're going to do a time capsule, since we broke open our,
I can add it
The last
to
one.
future agenda items.
yes.
Jackie, do you remember that chair meeting as well, wasn't it? I just sent it to you. What was it, July? This would be for you.
16.
I sent it
To
to
the 16th?
Yeah. July 16th. Yeah.
That's the 6-month chair meeting with
Council.
mayor and maybe some council members.
All right, anything else? Anything we didn't cover? Anything on the agenda we did not cover? Thank you all for being here. Oh, one last thing, as far as today's date, we still have no new members who have applied for our board, correct?
I have to go look. I thought there were some names at that last. I know they're voting on it next week, so it's probably gonna be in the packet who's gonna be voted.
So is that still open to people? if they want?
For us.
I think it's open all the time, but if there's anyone that's gonna be voted on to be on a board, it's gonna be, they've already got, council's already chosen those names. They'll be voted on next week at the meeting.
Did we not have any for our board?
We had some.
We had one. And it was a second option and they said that they wanted to go recruit. And like the next day, I know Martha and Dad was talking with city secretary about how to apply online, because I think she was having issues with the portal. So that's one person I know, like right after that
Okay.
was, but other than that, I don't get that communicated. So
Yeah, well, all I know is that they're voting. Do know they're voting on 17. It's in the. Because council's already selected.
Yeah, has already gone through the process.
I thought there was some senior. Yeah, just.
There's nothing else, well, just check in on that.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, y'all have a great afternoon, great weekend.
Thanks for the dessert.